So this is what it feels like.
Is that to be done?
Agony, pain, heartbreak. It's like having a girlfriend who cheats on you.
That's
Anger?
a crap comparison for us two. I've
We
never had a girlfriend.
Yeah, that's true.
Dan, have you had a girlfriend? Yes. Have you
Yes.
ever been cheated on? What's a worse feeling?
Have I? Yes.
What's a worse feeling? Getting cheated on or Jets being down 3-0?
Or the way the Jets are down 3-0.
Yeah, the way the Jets are down 3-0.
I don't know.
I feel like you get
Did
emotionally
you
invested
shave?
in both.
He shaved?
He did, yeah. He's
Whoa.
got a
Playoff beard last week, man.
Yeah. Look,
He
it's
looks
like-
younger
this
without
is,
a beard.
This is day 7 for me, too.
That's pretty good.
Grow for
I haven't
Grumman,
not had a
never
beard
quit.
in like 2 years. Like
I know, when I saw
2
Dan, I was like, whoa!
That looks so different.
It's been-
This grows real wicked fast for Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like
been
the goatee part.
6 days.
And like the under neck beard grows pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
The only
left-
problem with mine is it grows and then it stops. So it
Mine
just getting
doesn't
longer.
grow.
Oh, mine just keeps going. I've
doesn't.
let it. I usually let it go 2 to 3 times a year, but my left side grows a lot faster than my right. Look, watch this. You ready? There's like gaps here. Left side, a little better, not by much.
That's
but
okay.
A
I
little
got
bit.
right here. There's like a little spot right in the middle. Just nothing.
Just right in the middle of
It's
the
like,
cheek.
as
just
if a
nothing
tennis
there.
ball hits you, and it's just like 1/8 of the tennis ball.
It's
just
awful
the round
because
part.
this side I can get a decent like full beard. This side it's
So
like,
do you shave
no.
with your left hand or right hand?
Left.
See, I think that's why, because I'm left, so I always start on my left side. So I always like get good. No, it's a pressure. You're nice and strong, and then once you hit half your face, you're kind of tired. No, you guys don't get out of breath from shaving? Just
No.
me? Oh,
That's
okay.
just you. I get out of breath playing video games. That's
Yeah,
my
that's
thing.
fine. Yeah,
I'll be playing NHL.
Audrey, you haunt me in video games too.
So this week's episode we'll run through all 8 series, kind of where they're at, including some of tonight's results as we were recording after the early games finished, unless Washington and New York Islanders are still in overtime.
No, they're not in overtime.
But save it. I
Wait,
don't want to know. I
spoiler
don't want to know.
alert.
I
No,
don't want to
don't
know.
save it. No,
Don't-
save it.
No, save it. Don't tell.
That's what I meant to say.
Okay, and then
Save
we'll run through a couple quick NHL news stuff, talk about the draft lottery, and to start off this week, before we hit Winnipeg Anaheim, a huge last minute in podcast hello to our friend and friend of the show, Nick
from Connecticut.
Yeah.
Sorry we missed your email. That's a Dan.
Dan.
Whoa. Dan.
Whoa.
What's up, guys? Hey. Did you
That
read
took a
it?
left
Did we
turn
send
fast.
it to you? Did you read it?
No.
Ah, it's awesome. It was so cool. He
He gave you a
I'm not on-
compliment.
gave everyone
I'm
compliments.
not
It's
on
beautiful.
the last minute mailing list because apparently I don't exist.
No, you have
No,
you
you're
have
on
the
it.
email.
I don't know
We
what the
gave
password
them.
is.
We all set up. Oh, don't say the password. Right?
Okay,
We'll talk about it after. Yeah, it's so and so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you for the kind words, Nick. Canes fan, stuck with the team when they left to go to Hartford. No,
Yeah, well,
Hartford when they
boy.
left.
He was
You
a
guys-
Hartford Whaler fan. He
Him-
knows agony.
Him and I are like the same.
Yeah. Well, except his team left him. They didn't come to him.
That's true. My team came to me.
He
Yeah.
also was a fan
But
of a team
still,
that had
he-
Pierre Maguire on it.
That and
Brennan
Paul
Shanahan.
Mo. And Paul Mo.
Pomo?
Paul Maurice?
He
Yeah,
was
that
a
was his
player
first
or
year
coach?
Yeah.
Whoa.
He coached Hartford.
Really?
Yeah.
And he knows his stuff too because I was reading the email and he's like, yeah, you guys forgot to mention like Roland McCowan. And I'm like, oh my God.
And then he said
knowledgeable fans.
And then he said Hayden Fleury. I was like, oh my God, how did I forget about
Who is
Hayden
it? I know.
Fleury?
It was funny because like that was one of the guys we all had pegged that Jets were like, oh,
Yeah.
if we're taking a D, it's Hayden Fleury.
Yeah,
and then they're like,
exactly.
Nick Ehlers. We're like, who is this guy? The dashing Dane. And then we all looked at YouTube. We're like, wait, what? A Jets draft pick that actually has YouTube clips. I kind of like this.
And then you see what he's done for Halifax.
Yeah, unfortunately they lost tonight.
You see
So
how
they're no
see
longer-
how selfish we are as fans. We go from talking about a great fan.
Yeah, to
and,
us
and now
again.
we're like, we'll take it all in ourselves. This
You're
is us
good,
all
but
in.
we're...
Yeah, we're better. No, but yeah,
Yeah, you
thanks
might
very
have,
much.
like, Hayden
He's
Fleury,
listened
Ryan
since
Murphy.
listened to all of them. Started listening since episode 3.
That is
he said he found us
dedication.
on YouTube, which I owe Greg because
So he missed the first couple, which were probably...
No, but
that's
he
probably
listened to
okay.
them.
Yeah,
He
he
went back and listened.
backtracked.
He backtracked in summertime.
So
we
we
were
do have
talking
to
about
thank you.
nothing.
We do have to thank
Yeah,
you.
well, we have
That's
to owe
awesome.
Greg a thanks too because when we started doing like the on iTunes, I was like, "Oh, we don't need YouTube anymore." Greg's like, "No, we need YouTube," and I'm like, "Come on!" And he's like, "Just stick with it." And then, now
I yelled at him.
we go like audio on YouTube. I just put a picture.
But like Nick was YouTube?
Yeah, he found us on YouTube. Listens to us at work. So
you go.
work
Yeah.
productivity. It's what we do. Hello, boss. Hey, how's it going?
So, if you're another fan of the show and you want to get a hold of us, lastmaninpc@gmail.com.
Tell us your story.
Yeah, tell us
I
how you
loved
found
it.
it.
It was sweet.
It was great.
It made my
Give us
day great.
compliments
It did.
or
It did.
constructive
He did. He
criticism.
complimented all of us.
And constructive criticism is always welcomed.
If you're an
Yeah,
asshole, don't even bother.
No, do it. Bring it. Bring the hate.
Fine.
I can take it.
Send it to Cam.
Do it. I can take the heat.
Can you take the heat from all the Jets fans right now that are just absolutely pissed off?
Guys,
There's not
guys,
much
I don't want to
heat.
see your underbelly.
Guys,
Yeah, flame shirt. I know.
I can take the heat. I made a trade. I
There's
traded
not
it.
much heat. It's pretty cold in here right now.
Yeah, it is pretty cold in here. No, I could take the heat. There were Dan confirm or deny. Oh, damn it! You weren't at the game. You're going tomorrow. God damn it!
What is
Were
it?
there Ducks fans? They never.
Yes,
showed
there
up.
were.
There were a
There were
couple.
a few. Yes.
There were.
Yes.
I never saw them on
They were
TV.
wearing white Ducks jerseys.
Oh, really?
Though.
Ooh,
There was
good,
one.
good.
There was one fan that I noticed. I can't remember who tweeted it out. It might have been Down Goes Brown, but I can't remember who it was. And he said it was a picture of a person in that orange alternate Ducks jersey, and he said that man has a death wish tonight.
Oh, the orange like Winter Classic one or Stadium
Stadium
Series.
Series one. Yeah,
Those are nice.
those are really nice.
Very nice.
I saw a couple people. They flashed in the crowd. And they saw a couple people wearing the blue Jets jerseys. I'm like,
You know what?
But although besides
it's
that,
fine. But I'm like, you just wear a white T-shirt for fudge sakes.
Yeah, well, another thing.
cleaning his act up.
Nice.
Cleaning my
I
act
like
up.
it. Both
For now, it'll be gone.
visually and auditorially.
True. I shaved.
Yeah.
For the first time in about 2 years.
It's weird, when you go. Like, when you're shaving and then...
Sorry, Kay, let me regret that. I have shaved in the last 2 years, but I've never been clean shaven in the last 2
Actually,
years.
well, what we've been looking at for the last every episode leading up to this was, Robin Williams in Jumanji? He's like, what year is it? That's what Dan looked like. No, he isn't.
The 2 months I wasn't here, I was stuck in a board game somewhere.
We had to roll double snake eyes both times to get him out. And we had to do a riddle, and it was Thomas Caberlet. I'm sorry, Greg, I had to. We'll get to that. That's a good tease.
Oh my god!
All right, let's get into it.
Okay, Winnipeg has led all 3 games going in the third period. First team ever, Ducks are, to win all 3 games and be up 3-0.
At least we're in the record books.
Yeah. just
Hey,
negatively.
yeah, sure, it's
For
on the
all
bad
the wrong
side,
reasons.
but you're there. You're there, though. It still counts.
What's the issue? They have 0 goals in the third period, and this has been all season.
Is it-
All 6 matchups between Winnipeg and Anaheim this year, Winnipeg's gone into the third period with a lead, even in the regular season, and has lost.
The only thing I can criticize is I think they just, I don't know, they take their foot off the gas. And it's not a lot, but it's enough.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
enough
I mean,
to give,
Even that game last night, third period, I thought they finally corrected their mistakes. They were all over them. The Jets were all over them in the third period. And then 2 minutes to go, Anaheim fires a pass across that just,
It's a nice pass by Jakob
nice
Silfverberg.
pass, but you can't.
He's been great.
Nice pass, but you can't let that pass go across.
No, you
with
can't.
2 minutes to go.
No, you can't.
Toby's standing there
was that the map, the same shift Adam Party?
No, that was Adam Party
second
was second
period.
period.
Oh, okay.
I just feel like the Jets play extremely well, and then they make one error, and it costs them the game. Literally.
Because he gripped the sticks, and it's just they're thinking about it.
A lot of what's happened, if you look at pretty much, they did a thing on Sportsnet last night where all the goals are kind of been scored from the right circle. Inside that
Over
right
the Jets?
No, against the Jets.
Against the Jets, yes.
Yeah, by Anaheim. That right face-off circle. But what I've noticed on most of the Anaheim goals is it's caused from Winnipeg's inability to get the puck out. Last night, the game-tying goal by Ryan Kessler. Puck hits the net. Both Randorf and Gary Gallagher were mentioning how that Pavlik should have covered that. But we try to clear it out. False clearing attempt. Rest is history. It comes in the back of our net. Scheifele yesterday loses a puck battle in the corner, turns around, and it becomes a goal for...
The overtime goal?
maybe it was the overtime goal.
I thought that was Trouba, because he was chasing.
No, it was Scheifele behind the net.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Trouba
But
was the guy who
it
squared up.
seems that they can hem us in our end, but not only that, we just sometimes can't get it out. They get that one turnover, and it's in the back of our net like that, and boy.
I think they stop playing their game. They don't try and score. They just try and not lose.
Hold. Yeah.
And they're not good like that.
No, I totally
I've seen
agree.
them lose games. Cam was at the Philadelphia game this year. Jets were up 3-1 going into the
Oh,
third period,
yeah.
and in the third period they're like, we're not going to try and score. We're just going to sit
thought-
on it. What happened? They lost.
Yeah, the way they
Yeah.
were playing, I mean, even at the game, I was like, yeah, their Flyers are done.
They need
This
to
game's
learn.
over.
Like, I don't care if you're up.
Killer instinct.
They should have learned that being up by 1 goal going into the third period is the worst thing they could do.
Anaheim has 25 come from behind victories this season, they're like, sorry to interrupt, but they're like 31-5 in 1-goal games.
They've lost one goal game in regulation all year.
That's ridiculous.
One. Yeah.
Yeah. That's just how good they've been. And
that's a testament to their depth and the skill on the
they've
team
also
as well.
been in the playoffs before, and they got guys that when push comes to shove,
Well,
because they're probably tired of losing. They've lost a lot of the last
Well,
few.
look who they got to go through. Yeah, the Kings.
Yeah, I mean,
every time
they were built. What I heard from who was it? I think this is before the game yesterday. It was Anaheim radio announcer. He was on TSN.
Yep.
He said the Ducks were built this year because they expected to have to play the Kings in the playoffs.
So you build to beat the Kings.
They built to beat the Kings. Kings didn't make it. The guy said the Jets are the next closest thing to the Kings. That's what the Ducks players have said.
Assessment.
And so far, they're passing the test because they're up. It's tough because I honestly think the Jets could easily be up 3-0
yes,
in this
and
series.
I don't think anyone disagrees with you. And
It's tough.
That's how cruel of a lady.
It's a mean mother. It's a mean mother.
It is. No, it really is. Like, I don't know what it is. I every time I seem to have a team in the playoffs, they find a way to just hurt me so much. Whether it's the Leafs of the early 2000s, or it's the Leafs of 2013, because we all know that infamous third period, or it's the Jets this year.
Is it worse that they're in the games and that they're actually, honestly, might have been the better team in the series so far?
Because
they've been the better team for, out of all the time, the only time they're not the better team is 11 minutes that I could think of.
I tweeted last night, I said, it's so hard watching these guys. They're putting in all that effort, and they just don't have anything to show for it. Like, and if you look, there are games, and there are series that are won by teams that sometimes don't deserve it because they've got a great goalie, whatever. Anaheim right now, they're playing a good 10 minutes, and that's it. Every game, they just seem to get it together. Yeah. They're a good team. They're a great team. Don't get me wrong.
They haven't controlled the play very much, if at all, in this series. Like Cam said, they've had a lead for 11 minutes out of 180. The Jets have had a lead for, I think, over a full game. That's
tie game or with the lead. Yeah, for
Anaheim
11 minutes.
When they need a goal, they can get it. Mm-hmm. And the Jets can't yet.
And their third periods are just not good enough.
You know.
Another thing you said earlier about experience was they showed an infographic on one of the games before. They showed Corey Perry, Ryan Getzlaf, Ryan Kessler, and a few other players. There's 5 players to make up the list, equaling like 380 some odd playoff games. And then it showed all of the Jets players, and they had like 320-ish games.
302, I think.
302.
Yeah, it wasn't much.
So low 300s. And just in 5 players, it's like, I know it's playoffs, it's a whole different thing, but those players, experience is a thing, but that's the thing, is that they don't have that. They don't know how to get those goals, or they don't know how to figure it. They're going to learn how to do it. They are learning how to do it by losing. You got to. It's a stupid saying, and I hate it because it's bullcrap. They're Cinderella teams all the time, but you got to learn to lose before you can win. You got to win a game before you can win a series. You got to win a few series before you can get to the conference final. You got to win that to get.
That's true.
And as they said, there's 4 seasons in NHL. There's preseason, regular season, the first 3 rounds, and then Stanley Cup final. Yeah. 3 totally different things.
It's
4. Sorry.
No. I totally agree with that. And the Jets, penalties. You can argue that penalties cost them in game 1, and that was the difference in that game because they started getting in penalty trouble in the third period, and it just kind of seemed to fall apart. But they've really been disciplined the last 2 games. Minus maybe what Buffalo did to Corey Perry last night, but they've been a disciplined team. And
Lads one was pretty. That was a stupid decision.
But they're taking.
They've been disciplined.
But what the difference is, and I've noticed it 100%. I'm sure you guys have as well. Guys like Corey Perry, Ryan Getzlaf, Ryan Kessler, they know what to do to get underneath the other team's skin
and get away with it. Because playoffs is different than regular season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there are times where it's just not going to get called.
You know what player who I've noticed, which I think we can all agree, at least from the coverage, because I'm pretty sure we're all watching the same Sportsnet broadcast. The one player who has learned the difference between like a regular season hit and attack and playoffs, Adam Lowry.
Oh.
He is. I loved his match. I love Maurice matching him up against Kessler more than Scheifele. I think they tried to hide Scheifele from Kessler because they had the Anaheim at final change at home.
Yeah.
And Kessler was kind of overpowering him and stuff, but Lowry just embraces it. Like, there was a time he didn't wreck Clayton Stone, but he gave him a good shot. And then Ryan Kessler comes in, boom, cross-checks him. Nothing. Because it's playoffs, the refs aren't even looking. Wow. Kessler, of course, tries to sell it. And Adam Lowry doesn't even blink, just keeps going.
Lowry tried to fight him, and Kessler was a royal pussy, but whatever.
But you don't fight in playoffs.
No, I know.
Well, I mean, you do, but...
No, they are. They're agitators. I mean, even on the Bufflin thing last night, was it a stupid thing to do? Of course it was. But
pretty selfish.
Corey Perry dropped like a sack of potatoes. Looked like
he got punched in the back of the head. He was defenseless. He got punched. I will tweet the link. Fine, you guys decide. He got punched.
He did.
That's a punch.
He did. And he dropped like a sack of bricks. Looked like he was dead. And then the referee told him to get up. And he's like, "Oh, okay." Goes to the bench, just laughing.
Hey, do you want to get kicked?
So the guys like that can embellish and play it up when they need to, and
Are we going to talk about the Buff thing then?
We can.
Oh, yeah,
I'm just saying. The Jets don't do that. The Jets don't. If they get hit, they don't act like they die. They'll hit you back.
But that riled up the Jets, and it worked.
But the Jets, if someone does that to them, they'll hit you right back, and then we get a penalty for it. And it costs us, unfortunately. But
and that might be the playoff to non-playoff. It's like maybe sometimes you have to pretend.
It's crazy because if you think about it, that goal put Anaheim up 2-1. If they score on that power play, that's 3-1. Chances are you're not coming back against Anaheim in that game. And they killed it off. Like, that is such a selfish move by Bufflin. That is so stupid. I don't know. To me, I'm going to come right out and say it. He was a ghost in Game 1, non-factor in Game 2, and last night he cost us 3 goals. He is the biggest liability on the ice right now over any other defenseman. And we've sat here and we've defended him, and we've said that he's a good defenseman. Anaheim knows how to play him. They know how to get under his skin. They know how to push him to pretty much the point where he's going to start taking down penalties. And they know how to beat him defensively. He's not very fast, so they know to take him outside
and
wide.
And his defensive partner is Adam Party, which, to Adam Party's credit, is playing great.
Scored his first
I thought he was playing great.
NHL goal in 4 years.
But they're not the fastest. So what do you do is you burn him on the outside.
But it's not even fast. Buff is fast. But when he runs around the ice all over the place, he tires himself out too fast.
Exactly.
And his transition
3 goals last night were him trying to take a guy out of the play, and his guy scores the goal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, and that's...
And it's stupid. I mean, just like the cross-check he did on,
JT Miller.
That was stupid. Shoving Corey Perry down, it's a stupid play.
They were all plays after the whistle that had nothing to do with him.
They're definitely penalties. They're Bufflin being pissed off, and it's fine being pissed.
Yeah.
It's totally fine being pissed off, but if you're going to cost your team,
then
that's when it's not okay.
I don't know if you guys saw this. Did you see his media scrum after the game?
I didn't see it, but I've heard what happened.
He said he basically pulled Marshawn Lynch and said something along the lines of, we're a team, we're going to stick together. We're a team, that's what we do. We're a team. Yeah. And then they kept asking him, well, what brings you this? And he's like, we're a team, we're going to stick together. And it's like, at some point, is Dustin Bufflin, he's a big reason they're in the playoffs. I'm not denying that. But at what point do the coaches have to say, okay, Dustin, you have to stop being a little, I'm going to call it selfish.
Yeah,
and say,
I agree.
I understand where he's coming from, where that Corey Perry play, I thought, when I saw that, I'm like, okay, here we go. The Jets are going to start getting right in their faces. Because that's one thing that, there are little scrums here and there, but I'll use the biggest series going on. Flames and Canucks. Every whistle. They're in each other's faces. They hate each other. I'm not saying the Jets fear the Ducks don't fear the Jets, but you give them a chance to fear you. Show them, hey, I'm Dustin Bufflin. When I play my game, I can't think, no one can literally stop me, not even Chris Pronger.
I think he's been trying to do that, and it hasn't worked, and I think that's why he's pissed off.
I thought the team was going to follow suit.
I think he's trying too much to physically be a difference instead of just playing his game.
Yeah.
If he picks his spots, because he's had some good hits, if he picks his spots, he will make his impact known, and people won't go near him. Ryan Kessler is scared shitless of Dustin Bufflin. You saw it last night.
Yeah, but he also...
He's scared shitless.
He's living.
He's alive. But Corey Perry is terrified. Those guys don't like rough stuff. They don't like getting hit. They can't...
Come on. They love the rough stuff. Corey Perry,
can't
Ryan
take
Kessler.
a hit.
They could take a hit.
No, they can't.
Getting punched in the back of the head is totally different than getting
Those
hit
guys take
dead
a
on.
clean body check and they're meh.
Yeah, that's
They
but that's
cannot take a hit.
agitate. No, that's the difference between being an agitator who can take a hit and get in the mind. That's what they do. Ryan Kessler, Corey Perry.
Let's put sorry.
Ryan Getzlaff.
I'm going to rephrase it. They can dish it out. They can't take it.
They could take it. It's their job to mouth, and obviously it's working because look at how many penalties the Jets have taken
And Dustin
compared
Bufflin
to the Ducks.
is another example. He, when he gets mad, the littlest thing will set him off, and it's
a goal.
It's bad. A goal is his fault.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's trying to do too much. He needs to just play his game.
Agreed.
And at this point, you have to play every game one game at a time, literally. Then there's no chance for failure. So the pressure's on even more.
They need his offense more than they need him hitting people.
This is the biggest test of the year, and I think one of the biggest things they have to do. I want to move on from the series, but the biggest thing they have to do, and I told Cam this earlier today, it's time to change everything up. If you're Paul Maurice, you have to
shuffle the lines.
Exactly. I don't know why he hasn't done it yet. It's time to. One of the biggest shuffles they need to do is they need to. I just think they need a full line shuffle. Get the little lad Wheeler line together. Let that emerge. Then they have to get. I think Scheifele, Stafford, Perreault. That needs to be a line.
I wouldn't touch the third line. It's been their best line.
Third line?
Like Stepniak, Perreault.
It's been their best line.
I don't care. You have to change it up. You're down 3-0. Who cares what your best line is? You need to get a win.
Wheeler have been complete horseshit. Complete horseshit. They're getting beat like every time they're on the ice. They're getting beat.
They might have 2 goals, but they've not been playing well.
They haven't been a top line.
What they need to do is it's time for a shuffle. I don't care who your best line's been. It's time to shuffle it up.
I agree.
Whatever. You take the chance. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You're out of the playoffs, but you still got there. And you have to take that chance. You can't think what ifs at this point because it's not working. Whatever they're doing, not working in the third period, so they have to adapt for the third period. For next game.
I think they're finding out, because honestly, Andrew Ladd's been the worst Jet in the entire series, in my opinion. I
think a lot of people would agree with you.
That Ladd, Little, Frolik is not a top line. It's not.
No, I think Frolik needs to...
None of those players are top line players, anywhere. They're second line. They're very good second line players, but they're not a top line, and they get top line minutes, and I think that hurts the Jets.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think you're seeing
Lowry's Stepniak Perreault line generates more offense than that line does.
Also, though, because look at who they're playing against.
Well, but it's not only that, though. Like, I to Dan's point, I agree, but if you think about it,
I don't know.
We don't have anything to match up against Getzlaff and Perry.
Oh, no. Absolutely not.
Talent-wise, it's just not there. So we have to figure out a way to create the most depth, and what we're doing is we're not able to do that right now. With the lines that we have set, yes, they've worked at times this year, but you have to think of it as a strategic point. It's time to it's time to change it up, and maybe the answer, and I could be crazy, but you know what? Sherrod had one bad game. I say put him in.
For Party?
Keep partying. Move Buff forward.
But then who are you taking out forward?
You take out Thorburn.
Okay, yeah, just give a forward.
And let there be either Stepniak, Slater, Toulouse, and let that fourth line play a little bit more, because I think Toulouse and Slater have been very good. Thorburn's had his chances as well. I think he's played exceptionally well as well. But I think there needs to be a change-up, and maybe moving Buff forward will get him in the face of the other team. Because when you think about it, as soon as there's a shot on Anderson, he is at the blue line. He can't get in the face of the goalie, so he has to get in the face. He has to start causing scrums. Wow. Instead of doing it in front of his own net.
This is the first time he's played defense in the playoffs in his career.
Yeah.
And it's not working.
No.
So why not flip him back? When Chicago won the Cup, he was one of the biggest reasons.
Well, we all know they won the Cup.
So
that was remember that one. Sweet mama. Remember.
I know Greg wants to move on, but one last thing. One guy that he's not a Western Conference playoff guy, Toby Enstrom.
Yeah.
He's on my mind.
Out of there.
Yeah.
He loses every puck battle he's in. And
because they're dominating. They're targeting him.
I feel bad for the guy because he's extremely talented. He's a great hockey player, but he's just he's too small for where he plays. I don't know. They have to get rid of him this summer. That's my...
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Use that money to keep some of your forwards. And, I don't know.
And I think...
sign Adam Party for $900,000. I mean, he's worth it. I mean...
The other thing, too, why I would say moving Bufflin back, or Bufflin forward, gives you 3D on forward, too. Like, gives you a guy that's defensive-minded and can play that way.
He gives
And
you,
he's almost more responsible when he's a forward.
It gives you a free pass to every board battle in the corner.
Exactly. But I do want to move on from...
I just had one thing to say. I said this to someone today. If you swapped Bufflin for Jay Harrison...
Oh, Jay Harrison.
I think it'd honestly be an upgrade defensively.
Yeah. The Jets' record when Harrison's in the lineup is ridiculous.
Well,
and
Jay
Harrison
understands his role.
He's
a
defensive defenseman.
And I think it would change the series a bit.
That's a great point.
Guys, we should all be NHL coaches after this discussion. Okay.
I already am.
Couple last things I want to touch on with Winnipeg Anaheim, then we'll move on. Last night's chant, the Katy Perry chant towards Corey Perry.
Hilarious.
Thoughts? Sexist, not sexist? Go.
Not sexist. Stop being so sensitive, everyone. Jesus Christ.
Okay. Your opinion.
I see both sides of it. A little sexist in terms of, because you're basically defaming, you're taking away... Okay, Corey Perry, Katy Perry, obviously Corey's a guy. You're basically saying because he's having an off game, which at the time that chant happened, he had 1 goal, 1 assist in the game.
Yeah.
You're basically saying because he's not doing his job, he's a woman, so you're implying that all women don't know how to do their job or anything?
Not what they were doing at all. They were just trying to bug him.
Yeah, I know, but it's... Okay, obviously in the society that we live in now, you have to think about everything before you do it. Yes, I get it's a sports chant. It was a spur-of-the-moment thing. Katy Perry. I understand both sides of it.
I think we as a society are too sensitive.
Way too sensitive.
You know, like, let it be for what it is. It's a sports chant. It's not meant to be hurtful towards anyone. Do you think Corey Perry didn't sleep last night because fucking he got called Katy Perry? No, he slept just fine.
He was probably laughing on the bench.
Exactly. And it's the same as Katy Perry. Do you think she was offended that she was referred to in this sense? No. The only people that are
trending in Winnipeg.
Yeah. The only people that are taking offense to this are people that let it get to them because it's something. It's the same people that say, I'm not going to vote for you.
They want their voice to be heard.
Exactly. It's the same people that are saying...
to complain about something to be heard because they're lonely.
Yeah. Or it's the same people that are like, I don't want Hillary Clinton to be president because I don't think she's a fit president, and then turn that into, oh, because you're a sexist. No, it's because I don't think she's a fit president.
Yeah,
well, I don't want to get into that.
There's two sides to this argument, of course. It's just yes, I can see the sexism in it, but it is sports. You can't say but. And it is sports, not but, because then we're only listening to sports. And it is sports. However, I was going to say, Katy Perry, Corey Perry.
It honestly, it's a harmless thing.
Oh! No, keep going.
And I honestly don't think that it's a big deal. And the fact that people got all up in arms about it.
If they're going to chant, like, I don't know, I thought that was a pretty weak one.
That's very
If they're going to chant about that, why not?
interesting.
And this is what I read a few people on Twitter. If you're going to chant Katy Perry and, like, this is coming from that side of the argument and defame women's names and whatnot, why not just focus on the positive and just get a Go Jets Go or, like...
Yeah.
Beat them up or like something like that.
Be positive for your team because they're trying to.
But why aren't you trying?
They're trying to get in Corey Perry's head.
But why wouldn't you try and support your team instead? That's their argument.
No, they are.
That is the argument.
Being loud and being wearing white, and which looked awesome, by the way.
And I didn't
think it was that intimidating. To me, on TV, it didn't.
I thought it was awesome. I don't know if it's intimidating.
I don't think that we were. I think that we all let it get too hypey, and I don't think that we delivered as hard as we could have. I think Game 4
that was the loudest hockey game I've ever heard.
That was
the loudest, 124 decibels.
And standing beside a jet engine is 120 decibels.
That was the loudest hockey game ever recorded, at least that I know of. So
that's good.
There is an argument going around where it's like, okay, Winnipeg, 15,004 fans hit 124 decibels. 68,000 Seahawks fans hit 138 decibels. Seahawks are outside, so it's a lot harder to generate.
Yeah.
But that is loud. And Daniel will be there tomorrow. So
yeah, but you go to a game in Minneapolis and it's like 90 decibels.
It was 97 decibels at warm-up in Winnipeg. But you know what? Minnesota, I think it got to 100 yesterday because I think they were happy.
I'm just saying, like,
the passion here is that
playoffs,
crazy.
Everyone gets loud.
Only place that I think is Montreal that probably gives it a run for its money.
Well, it's another thing, too, is that's where they're focusing on how loud it was because we're always loud anyways. So they want to be, can they go louder? And we, in fact, prove that.
But last thing, we need to move on. There's 7 other series.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to touch on is at the end of the game yesterday, after they scored that overtime goal, all the fans chanting "Go Jets Go!" and I thought that was a great cap to the game.
That was nice, indeed.
Vancouver, Calgary,
and the players appreciated it.
Current series 2-1 Calgary. This has been an interesting series because I didn't expect it to be such a rough series.
Yeah, they don't like each other.
They absolutely hate each other, and I think it dates back to last year a little bit with that turmoil between Tortorella and Hartley, which I think we mentioned last podcast.
It dates back to when last time Flames went to the Cup final, how they had to beat Vancouver to get there.
Would you guys like an update?
No.
I don't want to hear the update.
For this one.
No. Get away from that one. I want to see. I don't want to. I'm going in blind. I'm recording the game. I want to watch it after.
Okay.
Going in. Oh yeah, right. So what were we talking about? Oh yeah, dating back. To the point that when the Bruins were playing the Calgary Flames when the Bruins were playing the Canucks in the final, Calgary was cheering for Boston.
Yeah.
They were cheering against their own countrymates. That's how
a lot of us were cheering against Vancouver.
Yeah, well, Vancouver's...
Did you hear what happened after the game? After Game 3?
Well, I've watched every game, so let's hear it.
There was a group of Vancouver fans, and they decided to beat up a 50-year-old man that wearing a Flames jersey. Yeah.
What?
Yep.
What is this? Dodgers Giants?
I don't know why.
We already know Canucks fans are fucking crazy.
Just
That's what happened when they
razz 'em.
lost the Cup final.
You fun Raz.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is there's a line that you can have fun, you can joke around. Never cross that line because you just look like an idiot.
Yeah, you're automatically an asshole. And you go back in time, the chances of you seeing that person again, incredibly rare.
Asshole, you could have killed the guy, and technically it's assault.
Yeah, it is.
You're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
No offense. But
what they could have done, they could have been like,
Christ.
you're in the wrong end of town, old man. You get along.
Like,
you go. That's it. You don't need to.
They saw Bieksa just start wailing on what's-his-face, and they're like, oh, we
Michael
can do
Furland?
it too.
Oh, yeah, because Burrows cross-checked Furland into a Bieksa headlock. I'll give them credit. They practiced that. I don't know where, but it was practiced.
The best part was Bieksa had him, and then he saw who it was, and he's like, oh, you.
Yeah, no, and it was funny because Bieksa in game 1, they were like showing the mic, and they were chirping back and forth. It was like, beep, 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 beep. But then it's like, I don't even know you, bud. I don't even know you. And then I saw like...
Bieksa, you're not the only one. No one knows who that is.
I saw Twitter. Man, he's great. He played for the Wheaties.
Yeah,
but I know a lot about weird stuff. But anyways, after they they fought each other, they ended up fighting later in that game. Furland or Flames fan accounts on Twitter were like, "I bet you know his name now, asshole."
Obviously, probably the biggest storyline in the series has so far been the youngsters: Sam Bennett, Johnny Gaudreau, Michael Furland, getting done.
Brandon Bowling, the bulldozer.
Hey, you know what?
Scored one goal all year.
Don Cherry loves him.
What he does.
Don Cherry loves him. Absolutely loves Brandon Bowling. But you know what?
Don Cherry likes a lot of people that aren't very good, though.
we get
that's what you need.
We get angry about
it. Those AHL Joe Schmoes, 2 wins so far, and I love it. I love it.
We get angry and we say that Calgary's voodoo. Their season, you know what?
They are.
I don't care. They are a fun team to watch. And hey,
if you shut down their top line, that's fine. Brandon Bowling.
I'll be honest.
They're fun to watch for sure.
I'll be honest. If the Jets are if they lose to Anaheim and whatever statistics are against them right now, I'm hopping on that Calgary train.
It's fine. Plenty of room.
Yeah,
plenty
that
of room.
wagon. I'm
There's
hopping on.
Lots of stuff on sale everywhere.
Yes,
they're a fun team to watch.
Great fun. Very fun team.
The most fun is trying to figure out who the fuck their players are.
Exactly. What?
Most of their players, you look at their numbers, it's like 63. The reason he wears 63 can't wear 93. It's in the Calgary Flame Ring of Honor, which is stupid. Just retire the number. Doug Gilmour, because his favorite player is Sam Bennett with Doug Gilmour. His nickname, though, it's not Sammy, it's Benny. Speaking of which, have you seen Benny from back in the day? Like that old creepy mascot that the Jets used to have? Remember that song, Elton John's like, Benny and the cheese.
Oh,
but it was like Benny from Boston Pizza. It's like a blue dude with a toothbrush head cut.
Yeah.
But anyways, his nickname is Benny. I think it's awesome.
Obviously, you watched last game. I missed some of it.
Well, all of
Burroughs' instigator that then got abolished by the...
It wasn't...
Rescinded.
It wasn't anything.
It got abolished also because Derek Hamhuses got abolished. Third man in, Derek Engelland. What I'm thankful for is, I don't know his first name, Trent Richardson? Blank Richardson, number 15 on the Canucks.
Brad
Richardson. Thank you, Dan.
Yes.
Former
LA King.
He played for the Kings.
Okay, there was a brawl after the game, or in between the game. Nets off the moorings. You're watching the helmet cam. It's on
This was game 2.
Yeah. This is on Matt Stajan, and Matt Stajan, Brad Richardson
hilarious.
has mounted him like UFC. He's punching him.
There's no referees.
Because the refs are trying to pull apart two. Like, it's 2v1. It's Engelin versus, I forget who, on the left side. And then there's like two brawls going on. So he literally stops, looks up, and he's like, oh, I guess I'll keep going. Shoulder shake, elbow shimmy, elbow shimmy, elbow shimmy. He stopped to take a breath.
He actually looked around. He's like, do I keep hitting him?
Yeah, he's like, do I?
Shut up.
Shut up, Matt. And he's like mounted on him, like just giving it to him. And Matt State's just like, please stop it. He's like looking around like, hey, but come on. But like you could tell the Flames bench Bob.
Or the Dorset and England fought. They stopped fighting. They were just standing there and the
refs didn't come by, so they kept pitching each other.
No, they stopped fighting. They were just standing there watching. Dorset just like as he's looking, he turns, he's just like, and he punches him again, and they start fighting again. I'm like,
oh, in the Habs series when
he got two fighting majors at the same time.
Yeah,
I've never seen that.
Did.
Two for one guy.
Great series so far, excellent. But it got a little work. Don't tell me what happened. But I know Burrows in today's game or in today's practice, he basically hurt himself and broke a rib and got rushed off to the hospital. He's not playing in tonight's game.
Right.
Now, as a Flames fan, I should be rejoicing, but no, you love guys. I love guys like
you
that.
You like the dirtiness. You love the dirtiness.
It brings the edge.
Someone has to start it so you can finish it.
It's just fun to watch. I love it. I hate to love them.
I was getting inebriated for my birthday on Friday.
Happy birthday! For he's a jolly good fellow.
No. Okay, stop.
Happy belated, Greg.
Okay, thank you. And I was and all I saw from this game, I didn't see much, is just crowds and crowds and crowds of Flames players and Vancouver players.
And equipment everywhere.
And equipment all over the ice with people glued to the TV because this is what people like watching. It is as dirty as it is, it's hilarious. And we're laughing about it because it just shows how much passion these guys have to win and how much hate there is in the series.
You guys, what were the most memorable? Don't give updates.
Never mind.
No updates.
Minor heart attack. I read it really fast.
Oh, no.
It's about the Jets.
Okay. What was the minor heart attack?
Elliot Friedman said Nick Ehlers' QMJHL season ended tonight.
Yeah.
Jets will discuss his future tomorrow, but he will not be in the Game 4 lineup. I wrote he will be in the Game 4 lineup. That's what I read at first.
Oh.
What?
He's not ready. He's not ready.
Can you imagine?
But it wouldn't count against his contract. So
yes, it was. Yes, it does. Playoffs do. If Sam Bennett plays over 9 games, then yes, his contract will be counted.
And he will play over 9 games. I'm confident in that.
I'm totally down to hop on that big one. St. Louis, Minnesota. Minnesota's up 2-1. Dubnyk records first shutout of playoffs.
He only had 17 shots on him, so that tends to happen.
Well, you know what? Bishop only had 14 and led in 3 goals.
Good point. I was going to say about like the guys that...
Oh, sorry. Go.
No,
continue.
go. Do it.
No, I was just saying, like, we're fucking 3 games deep already. Like, this, it feels like playoffs have been, like, barely here, and we're already 3 games in.
I feel like I've aged.
The Jets are almost gone already.
I feel like I've lost months off my life by just watching the Jets.
We're over the Jets. We don't need to talk about them anymore.
Like,
it hurts.
You blink, and it's like, no, okay, see you next year.
Exactly. Tarasenko hat-trick in Game 2. So those are the big notables so far this series. Zach Parise has played quite well.
They're not buying into any of the garbage at all. Like, the Wild are not buying into Blues. Steve Ott and Matt Dumba. I love it.
Did you see Matt Dumba?
He's doing great. He's doing great.
See at the game?
He's no Jacob Trouba, but he's doing great.
Wow, English.
At the end of the game.
At the end of the game yesterday, Ott tried to pick on, I think it was Scandella, and what's that other guy's name?
What number? Scandella.
44?
44?
Stewart?
Yeah, Chris Stewart.
No, it wasn't Chris Stewart. It was another.
I wouldn't pick on
that'd
Chris
be
Stewart.
Anthony. Oh no, Chris Stewart. Yeah, no, different guy. I can't remember who it was. Comes in and they just start jostling, which was great. And honestly, this has been a good series so far. And Dubnyk's really keeping his ground.
If St. Louis doesn't get out of the first round, do they blow it up?
Yes, I think Hitchcock's fired. I think Hitchcock's
No, but trade some guys. They have to. They've proven 4 years in a row they can't get it done.
I think the goaltending's the issue.
Goaltending and the money they saved on Ryan Miller not wanting to sign there, and them not wanting to sign Ryan Miller, I guess,
was put into Paul Stastny, which hasn't really been working out.
Pretty
too well.
Expensive third line center.
Just gonna say,
and they got to pay Tarasenko at the end of this year, don't they?
No, he's got a
year. He's got another year left. Okay, but he's been something else.
Because this is year 2 for Tarasenko.
No, this is year 3.
Is it?
Yep.
Really?
We got lockout year was his first year.
Oh, dang.
Right?
Really? Yeah.
Because actually, now I remember, he said he's going to wait till the end of the year to negotiate.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is smart for him because he's clearly their best player.
Yes.
They finally have that consistent elite goal scorer that we know of just for this season.
Well,
But it could be
Tarasenko.
Alex Steen flash in the pan again. We don't know. I
think Tarasenko's...
I don't
Here
think
to
so,
stay.
because he's been 3 years in a row. He's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've liked Minnesota in the series, and they have the ability to go deep as a 4 seed. So
They got speed.
they've
They
got
get right in
oh
your
my
face.
God.
All
Dude,
Dubnyk. If Dubnyk goes downhill, they're done.
Yeah, that's very true.
Because I don't think they're... Them and Montreal, I think, are similar teams. They're good teams, but without their goalie, they're not quite... Which you can say about anyone.
Yeah.
But I think they take a big hit if Dubnyk's not as good as he is.
Very true. I can agree with that. Moving on, Chicago-Nashville 2-1 right now for Chicago. This was actually our longest game of the season of the playoffs, which was first night, which went to double overtime. Or was it triple overtime?
Damn it, I should have
Which I had to eat
should've
my own words.
Yeah. Dan's like, you don't score on Pecorine from the blue line.
All
What does
the-
Keith
A
do?
minute later, I lied.
All they were doing was skating over the blue line and just dumping it on him. Like,
Yeah.
just little wrist shots. I'm like, that's not going to work. And then Duncan Keith tees it up. I'm like, watch this go in. And it did. And I'm like, fuck.
Very
no.
interesting series so far. If you look, game 1, all Nashville. They're up 3-1 going into the third.
Yeah.
Or was it
They-
second?
They were up 3-0 in the first.
They had a 3-0
Oh, yeah, no.
lead.
Yes, and then Darlene starts, steals the game.
Oh, my darling.
Steals the game. They go into overtime. Chicago rallies back, go into overtime. They win. They're up 1 game. Game 2, Crawford starts. He lets in, 7 or 6 goals?
6.
They lose game 2. It's 1-1 now, and then it goes
he let
back.
in 9 goals in 4 periods.
Yeah. And then it goes back to Chicago. And Darlene got the start yesterday. Or in game... What was that? Game 3. Sorry,
Sunday.
Game 3. Played quite well. He got the start again tonight. I think
You want the
they're winning.
update?
What's the score in the game?
2-1 Nashville after 2.
Okay, so they're not winning, but I think Scott Darling's played quite well in relief. And it's crazy. Like, he's got that similar story to the NHL.
2 goals on 27 shots. Not bad.
Similar story to the NHL, the same way kind of with Hutchinson for a comparable ECHL. He's actually playing the SPHL. I don't even know what that is. Maybe South Pacific Hockey League. I don't know.
That sounds
Maybe.
right.
Then went to the East Coast, AHL, and then Antti Ranta and him swapped spots, and now Scott Darling's starting in his second NHL playoff game tonight, which is quite interesting, obviously. On the injury front, Shea Weber is out until at least Game 5. And Pecorine...
Mike Fisher missed a few, too.
Yeah, Mike Fisher missed
He
a few.
started tonight, I believe.
But Pecorine not playing kind of Pecorine hockey. He's
Getting
not...
out-dueled by
Scott
rookie.
Darling.
That also has a big thing to do with the fact that Chicago got a huge mental boost by getting Patrick Kane, their best player.
There's-
back.
there-
Best
There is
scorer back.
voodoo
There's
in
no-
recovery of injuries in the NHL.
No, there's no earthly way he's healthy.
I don't get it.
If he takes one shot, he's done. There's
Guys,
no way.
we
He
talked
can't
about
be.
this.
He can't.
We
He's probably got screws in there.
Hyperbolic? No, he went into a hyperbolic time
Well,
chamber,
maybe. I don't
and
know.
he just
While he was in there was 100 athletic therapists and surgeons working on him at the same
and
time.
then he was working out like
If I'm Nashville, I take your biggest goon and you just crush him right in the shoulder. Take him out.
Dan,
You win.
did you
Who's a
answer a
goon on
phone
the
call
Old
from
school
Holmgren?
tactics.
okay, Mike
Oh,
Raparo, do
Holmgren,
it.
I love it.
Sign Jordan.
Okay.
Re-sign Jordan Tutu for one friggin' game.
He's with New Jersey. You can't do that. Write a note. We'll give it to Mike Ribeiro. We'll make sure he doesn't tease minutes a day, and we'll just
That was mean. We talked about sexism
allegedly,
and then you bring up
alleged,
Nice.
his
That's
alleged
great.
medication, which he doesn't take. But I honestly, I think Mike Ribeiro's played great in this series.
Yes.
So
yes.
far. Actually, one of the
This
crazy
season.
things that I have to mention, freaking Antoine Vermette, healthy scratch.
No, he's playing tonight.
Okay,
Okay.
fine. About
But
time.
first 3 games
Crazier thing.
for what they gave up for him.
Actually, he scored.
Oh, okay.
Hey!
All right.
Colin Wilson has 4 goals.
Wow. That's
Good old
been
Winnipeg kid.
Yeah,
There you
He's
go.
been a great player.
Winnipeg boy.
for them for a while.
Him and when we get to the Montreal thing, there'll be another Winnipeg boy. That's
Well, don't worry. That's what we're going to talk about next.
Right now.
Yeah,
Go.
Montreal. And
another
Ottawa.
heartbreak.
3-0 Montreal. Ottawa has led going into the second period in all 3 games and have lost. First 2 games haven't started, then not pulled, but changed over for Anderson to start game 3. But there was something that happened in game 1. I don't know if you guys heard about what happened in game 1. Paul Bunyan was in the arena, and he was dressed as PK Subban, and decided to hit Mark Stone and give him a microfracture to his wrist.
Oh, I saw it.
However, both Stone and Subban are still playing. Sens fans wanted justice by Subban getting suspended, and Montreal fans were like, hey, we never unjustly want to suspend somebody or criminally charge him if he injures one of our players.
Who's the coach for Ottawa right now?
Dave Cameron.
Dave Cameron got fined like $50,000 for his comment.
Because he said if they didn't suspend Subban, they just do it to one of their players.
Bounty.
Which is fucking awesome.
Playoffs.
Because I'm sorry.
Yes.
Like, I'm sorry. There's no way Subban goes to the player safety and goes, I didn't mean to do it. No, you fucking tried to break his hand.
And
There's
Dan,
no
he knows
other
what he's doing.
explanation.
We were texting in our group
There's
yesterday
no explanation.
about just the buff thing, and I was like, I'd be surprised if there was a suspension. Dan's like, no way, goddamn hell. If PK Subban tried to take his hand off, no way is Buff getting a suspension.
He knew what he was doing.
It's true.
All I said is if that's not a suspension, you might as well just throw the rule book out the window.
Oh, it's
for the
gone.
playoffs.
It's
Like,
gone.
I mean,
Don't worry.
Intent to injure.
I think we've already learned the NHL is extremely inconsistent. Consistently inconsistent.
Their gray area is incredibly gray.
It's 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Wow.
Boom.
Yeah.
Goes dynamite. I'm wearing a gray shirt. I'm the NHL.
Yeah, okay. You are the law?
That's the rules.
There you go.
This is how the rules are.
yeah.
NHL rule book. That's what I should
Yeah,
write
you
on my
make it
chest.
up, and then everyone's like, okay, so it's this? No, not today. You just
Well,
said,
no.
no.
You
6
play
players
for
on
the
the ice
Habs,
doesn't work.
10 games.
No.
Yeah.
Carey Price actually played quite well during the series, but it's just the inability of Ottawa to close out, and
The depth of Montreal
Troll.
and Dale Weiss, go, Winnipeg kid, or Manitoba surrounding area kid.
2 goals last game in Game 3.
Yeah.
The
The
only-
And the
two
overtime winner.
Cinderella stories are about to be swept. Potentially.
Well,
That hurts.
yes.
That hurts.
Uncle
Two
Gary made a
teams,
phone call.
2 teams that it seems that Canada wanted to
Canada's
get
2
behind.
teams.
Can-
If the cup final was Winnipeg, Ottawa, Canada collectively would have an orgasm all at once.
The NHL,
Or Calgary. You know what? I think the only teams Canada as a whole do not want to make very deep are Montreal and Vancouver.
because
The
they're
two
so
that will.
they're such like antagonist like
Oh, yeah.
franchises. You either love
it's Goliath.
or hate.
It's Goliath versus David. That's what it is.
I guess.
And it's not in the sense where like one team's way better than the other. It's just a sense where everyone expects Goliath to win. And
Yeah.
David's like, I'm gonna do my best. Like
Yeah.
people were expecting Vancouver to make the playoffs. People were expecting Montreal to make the playoffs. People were expecting Ottawa to be in the Connor McDavid sweepstakes, which we'll get to later. People were expecting Winnipeg to be in Connor McDavid sweepstakes. People were expecting Calgary to be in the Connor McDavid sweepstakes. And here they are in the playoff series. It's pretty incredible. And that's I think it's just stories that people can get behind.
Tampa, Detroit.
Well, before that,
sorry. Go ahead.
is this series all but over? Do you think? Do you think Game 4 or is it gonna head
Did
to
they
Game
have
5?
Game 4 today?
Game 4 is tomorrow.
Someone made a good point. With the run that Ottawa went on at the end of the year, if there's a team that can do it,
It's Ottawa.
they can. I think they can do it more than the Jets can. Simply
yeah.
based on the miracle they pulled
You know
with their
what?
butts
You know
out.
what you do, and it sounds terrible.
It's tough.
I don't mean to interrupt, and it sounds terrible, but the guy's already hurt. Just send Mark Stone like rocket launching into Carey Price, take him out of the series, and you win the series.
Kreider him. Just Kreider him.
Kreider didn't do that. He got shoved.
You do it
Shoved by
on
what? Gravity?
No, the guy behind him
purpose.
last year.
You know what? Yeah. What?
To answer your question, I think it's a sweep.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I think it's a
Get the
sweep,
brims
too.
up?
I think so.
Yeah.
Rangers, not Ranger. Whoa, that's one series too far. Tampa Bay, Detroit. Detroit actually shut out Tampa Bay tonight, which means Peter Mrazek's stolen 2 games from Tampa Bay. Not really much here. This has kind of been a
For me,
series.
this has been a mess because I haven't watched a bit. Dan, have you watched the series?
I watched the game. Yeah, actually, I've watched a bit of every game. I saw the end of the game today.
Hey.
For a team that a lot of people picked to win the cup, Tampa Bay does not look good.
Yeah,
And they're
they've-
giving
they
a
look-
team like Detroit momentum
they
in the
look-
playoffs.
They look
Can't do it.
troubling and they look mad. They were getting pissed off. And I think I said last week, if Detroit gets goaltending, don't count them out.
No, of course.
And the other thing too is I think we talked about the Jets and their inexperience, but Tampa Bay was in the same place where the Jets are last year. They had a bunch of young guys. Their first playoff series, really, like the last time. If you think about like Stamkos, Hedman, yeah, they were there for their run when they went to the conference finals in 2010. But besides from that, like a lot of these guys don't have a ton of playoff experience. I would say they're on par with playoff experience the Jets have. Like
Probably less.
outside of their top 2 with Hedman and Strawman, they don't have a lot of defensive depth or defensive experience. They don't have a lot of offensive experience. Their second line has never sorry to interrupt, but only saw the playoffs last year. Tyler Johnson, Nikita Kucherov, and Andre Platt. that's all they saw last year. Stamkos and Callahan, they played quite well. But once again,
it's also Ben Bishop's first playoff.
But you got...
Oh, right, it is, because he was hurt last
year. And he was bad in game 1.
Yeah, he really was.
Stunk up the joint.
Bad. And that's been Ben Bishop this year. He's hot, then he's cold. He's yes, then he's no.
He's in and he's out. Is he up and down?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you're cold, yes, and you're no. You're in and you're out. You're up and you're down. You're wrong when it's right.
Okay, no,
black when it's white.
That's playing
up. We miss, we make up. You really want to stay.
Whoa. You really... What I was going to say.
Well, that was popular when we were in grade 12. Yeah. Dating everyone.
Hey, we can't chant the name. We're better than that here. Okay.
Whoever she's a great artist.
Yeah, guys, stop being sexist.
Hey, we're
Jesus H. Christ.
But
hey,
this series...
Jesus is... Nope, I got nothing.
Preachy.
Nothing?
Don't be preachy.
Don't be a preacher.
Nice.
This series has been... What do you
I was just going to say, you said they didn't have any D. I like their D. They're just, as you said, inexperienced.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot to offer.
And
exactly.
I know we said last week this was a series that, when you look at it, nothing jumps out at you. The games have been mean.
Have they?
What I've watched, they've been mean.
I've watched very, very little of it, so... unfortunately, that's kind of been par for the course with a lot of these series. I haven't had a lot of time to watch them because fucking school's like, hey, here's 13 assignments in the last 2 weeks. We didn't give you anything all year, but here you go.
Dan.
Boom.
You know that.
Well, I'm done.
So...
Okay.
Done last week.
Dan's done.
Yeah, guys, I have 2 weeks left, then I'm done school forever.
Beautiful.
I'll give you a sample of how mean it's been. I watched 5 minutes of the game today. Detroit was up 2-0. Paquette for Tampa Bay. Mrazek saved him. He was pissed off, so he skated behind him and kicked his foot out. Justin Abdelkader mounted Paquette, skated at him from halfway across the ice, jumped on him like Stone Cold Steve Austin used to, and just started beating the living piss out of him.
Good.
Catch the goal.
So that's what that series
broke the golden rule.
Yes. So
Fun.
maybe it's one of those series I should check out. But all the series, except for the Montreal, Ottawa, and the Winnipeg, Anaheim, were 1-1 through 2 games. So the series has happened close.
Keep rubbing it in, Greg.
No, he's.
I'm a Jets fan too. Okay.
Stats.
Okay.
Next one.
Rangers, Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh actually played a pretty good game too, and I guess a strong game 1. They were nowhere even close in game 3. They were held to 0 shots in the first 15 minutes of the first period.
That was last night.
And their first shot was from center ice.
Exactly.
Really?
It just the one thing I think we talked about last week, how we said that Crosby and Malkin have to emerge. Crosby was a factor in games 1 and 2. He was not there last night. I don't know how much of the game you watched.
I watched about half of it.
And what did you think?
They're not getting a lot of chances because the New York Rangers, as we have said, by far the deepest D-core ever, and they are just forcing them to the outside. They're not letting them get near their goalie, and when they do get near their goalie, you still have to beat Lundqvist. And the one thing for Henrik Lundqvist that I've noticed, you're not going to beat him low because they had about 5 or 6 chances where if they went above the pad, they would have had a goal. But guess what? That's Henrik Lundqvist. You don't think about that when you're about a foot away from him. You just hit it.
And Keith Yandel now cross-checks people in the head.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So that's, fun if you want to try and score. Game 2.
Yeah.
Someone tried to hit him and they fell down and he was just right in the head.
Right in the
deliberately. You got 2 minutes and that's it.
Yeah, it's
there was a lot of
4 game suspension in...
A lot of calls are going in this series, from what I've noticed. From the little bit that I've watched, lots of no calls, but it's playoffs.
There hasn't been a single suspension, and there's been plenty that could have been suspended.
There's a lot of good things. This is NHL.
They should let him play, though. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
Well, apart from this one, I haven't watched too much. Rangers are a real strong team.
They're looking like that
and
Eastern Conference favorite.
And they're incredibly fast. They had a ton of breakaway chances yesterday. Their first goal was Carl Hagelin on breakaway.
What about Hagelin's little accidental hit on Crosby to the jaw? Kind of.
Oh, he was trying to
get out of the way.
Yesterday? He was.
I don't remember that.
That was game 2.
Oh,
you could see he jumped out of the way.
Yeah.
Like that. I don't think it was anything.
No, I don't think it was anything. It was just kind of unfortunate. But Hagelin's
dangerous
so fast.
for Crosby, though, because he's one.
Was it Hagelin yesterday?
Breakaway, slap shot.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yeah,
it was just okay, here you go, perfect pass. Hagelin's, slap shot goal.
That's a bad line change.
Bad line change, but it just shows you how quick, just 1-2, boom.
Yeah.
Goal.
If you have a good 1-2 in Detroit.
I don't want to be the
Justin Abdelkader. Those guys are fast.
I don't want to be the team that has to play the Rangers if the Rangers can get obviously
Rangers
past
play the
Pittsburgh.
winner of Caps and Islanders.
I want a Rangers Islanders series. I want it.
Well,
That'd be
is
cool.
that
That'll
next?
be-
Is that the
Yes.
last series?
That would be
Before
ridiculous.
tonight, it was a 2-1 series lead for the New York Islanders. They went into overtime tonight before the podcast started. It's now over. Hold it before I hear who won. The only game that Washington won was without their number one goaltender, Braden Holtby. He was actually sick on Friday and was unable to play, so they had their third string goalie come in and play, and he actually won the game.
Philip Grubauer.
There you go. Yeah.
Was Holtby playing tonight?
Greg,
I don't know.
I know I don't want to bring this up because I made a joke when we teased about it. You know how Leafs aren't good at holding on to assets, and I don't think we'll have time to talk about it. We might.
I think we can go over this.
Philip Grubauer was a part of that one of the assets of the Caberlet trade. Leaf.
Are you kidding me?
No, dude, he was the fourth that went. He was a conditional fourth that went one of the trades. Yeah, there's a link I'm going to tweet, which we should all read. If
You know what? I think we should talk about it.
It's brought to you by Steve Dangle Leaf Trades.
Let's just talk
Bring
about
up
it.
the article. Just type in Steve Dangle.
He's too mad.
Okay, we'll talk about it. Let's talk about it after.
Look
Okay, let's finish.
What happened tonight? Washington, New York Islanders. Who won?
Wait, hold on. Before we say that, just my thoughts on this series. It's been excellent from what I got to watch.
Really exciting.
The greatest storybook ending. Sunday afternoon, when John Tavares scored 13 seconds left, a synchronized three-person jump into the glass celebration. Did you guys not see it? I was freaking out. I was losing it. Not even over the goal, because I'm indifferent as to who wins the series. It was Ryan Strome, John Tavares, and someone else in the
Boy, is he emerged, I feel Ryan Strome has been. He's
Very
really
nice.
emerged in this
Yes.
series. Okay, who won tonight?
Well,
In overtime.
the winner
Oh, God.
in overtime.
Don't give me this. I want
a
Washington to win.
score of 2-1.
Obviously.
A goal at 11:09.
Okay.
Of the first period.
Hold your prescription medication for allergies because Nikki Backstrom.
Yeah! 2-2! Yeah! We're going back
To
to
Washington.
New York for one more game.
The cap.
We're going back
We're
to
going to Nassau. We're coming back, baby.
One more game.
That's
I was trying to
awesome.
think of what the medication it was that he got suspended.
Yeah, no,
for.
we
So I'm
know.
like, I
We
don't
know. Yeah, no, everyone
awesome.
knew that. They were like, oh, okay, Nick Backstrom can't play. Why? He's been playing in the NHL. That's a banned substance there, too. Can't play. Can't play. We're like, come on, Canada's going to win that game anyways. Make it something.
Give him a chance.
Wow, that's
All
awesome.
right.
Okay, so 2-2
I totally
series there.
thought you were going to say Islanders. I thought.
Awesome.
By the way, I
I
just want to
wish.
say my condolences to Lubomir Visnovsky.
He got wrecked again today.
He's getting just targeted. He is the Tony of that series. They're just
He's been in
hurting
the
him.
quiet room 2 games in a row. 2 games in a row.
And then you got guys like Calvin DeHaan, who's younger than Lubo is, and just
It's okay,
actually
don't
doing
worry.
great.
Yeah.
You want to see a good hit? Kyle Okposo and Eric Fair. Watch that one.
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
I'll try and find
you know what?
it.
I'm really this has been a great series, and it's showcasing the talent that New York Islanders have versus the talent that Washington's had for so long, and I think it's been pretty good so far.
And you know what? I just want to say, I heard this on another podcast, but every year that John Tavares misses the playoffs is a year that we don't get to see John Tavares in the playoffs, and I don't like that.
No,
I
neither.
love John Tavares in the playoffs. He's a great player. And especially with the team around him. I mean,
Yeah.
about time that they're building
That's a-
around him.
th-
And they bought
that's a
2/3
good
of
team.
Greg's favorite line. Greg, what are you doing? You all right?
Man.
Greg's stretching. Greg hurt himself. What'd you do? Is old age getting to you?
I'm good.
Do you need
I'm
your
good.
prescription?
I'm good.
Nikki, Nikki, come here.
Okay. Some NHL news to pass along. Jarrett Stoll arrested in Los Angeles for cocaine and MDMA possession
Los Angeles.
What's MDMA?
in Las Vegas.
What's MDMA?
Oh,
Is that like
That's
the extract?
ecstasy. No, okay, that's the purest form of ecstasy.
Oh, so he's having
So
a
it's
good time.
Molly.
Oh, he's having a good time.
So
That Pitbull song?
right before he went to
How
Wet
much
Republic,
cocaine? How much cocaine did he have? 4.4 grams. That's how much
A lot of
he
cocaine.
had.
How
He
much
wanted
is
to get
like a
fucked up.
snort worth?
That's like nothing. That's not even a gram. That's a line.
Well, yeah,
which
like
is
half a gram.
Okay, essentially what he had was like $250.
Like a
sniff is-
Ziploc full?
It's not a Ziploc full at all. It's like, I don't know, one
a
of those like
Post-it's
candy
worse.
bags.
He could cover a Post-it.
Probably
A yellow
a
Post-it.
little bit more than that. I don't know cocaine because I don't do it. So I
Well, you
wouldn't be
knew
able to tell you.
MDMA like the back of your hand there, Greg. I mean, is there something you want to tell
Ironic,
us?
like the back of your hand.
No, is yeah. I thought you did it in between your thingy. Your webbing in your fingers.
I
Hey,
don't
do you
know.
guys have webbed toes?
Yes.
I saw someone. Do you really? No, seriously, I saw.
Yeah, there's like a webbing right here.
No,
Like this kind of
I meant like your toes.
Like
were...
duck
Oh,
toes?
no.
Like where it's
Why-
like
never
in
mind,
between?
sorry.
Okay, why are we talking about
Because I
this?
saw
What the
someone in the
hell?
mall the other day and they had
Hockey.
webbed toes.
Okay, so yes. So cocaine, MDMA, charges are most likely going to be dropped, not going to be a big deal. It's nowhere near as bad as the other Los Angeles King that's not playing and was arrested.
Oh, Slava Voinov?
Yes, exactly.
Hey, he doesn't hit
All
his
this
wife.
proves is that
Okay.
there's thousands, or not thousands, but there's hundreds of hockey players who haven't gotten busted yet.
Yes. Okay,
Having money
the
fixes
first round
everything.
of firings have now gone through the NHL. Let's start with my favorite team. So Nonis, Horacek, gone, as well as a ton of scouts and all their assistant coaches.
I feel bad for Horacek. It's like, hey, come be our coach for 4 months. Okay, you're fired.
Hey, same
you.
deal
Well,
in
was it-
Florida. He was a coach in Florida and then he got fired too.
Wow.
Okay,
Sorry.
Ted Nolan
The give
was
a shit
fired.
meter was too high.
Todd McClellan was mutually let go yesterday. Mutually agreed to let go, as well as Craig Berube of Philadelphia is now
Sorry, Chief.
all gone.
See you later, homie. Yeah.
Before we go to the Michael Stromner watch, which is going to be our official draft lottery winner, which I'm sure everyone knows by now, but we'll still talk about it. The article that Cam was referring to,
Yes.
the deep dark hole of the Thomas Caberlet trade. Well, you take it. Well, let me just
Pull
put
up
this.
the article so it tracks it.
Okay.
So while you pull up the article, I just want to comment on Craig Berube, and I just want to go off on a whim. I'm gonna way preemptively guess who the new coach of the Flyers is going to be. Okay, well, first off, there's a rumor going around that Ron Hextall, back in his Dean Lombardi days, assistant GM to the LA Kings, back to his days, they had connection to assistant coach Davis Payne from St. Louis. They brought him into the Kings. He might possibly be the new head coach of the Flyers. Coach what? Coach Payne. That's right. Not against it. Don't hate it. But apart from Coach Payne, which apparently looks like a likely candidate, I would love it. Love it. Dan Bosma. Why? Dan Bosma. That's why.
Dan Belsma coaching
Pittsburgh.
the
You're
Philadelphia
forgetting.
Flyers.
You're forgetting the dark horse, Claude Noel.
No, I still
No,
think
don't you put the evil on
I
me.
still think they're forgetting the actual
yeah,
dark
wait.
horse.
We could put Santa Claus with Mr. Christmas.
No, I
Santa
still
Claus is coming to town.
I still think it'd be better. This is the dream team of get Claude Noel as the assistant coach, but let Tortorella be the head coach.
No,
Johnny
screw
T.
you guys.
Come on, you guys love violence. He'll go and beat the other team up at intermission. Great.
It's true. I like your style. I don't want Johnny T.
We want blood.
All right. Did you
Okay.
get the article?
It's okay.
Okay.
It's coming.
So back
Okay,
in
so
the
are we
day-
starting the name?
Yes. Go.
We're just gonna start Ghosts of Leafs Name Pass. Okay, first name on the list. Ricard Raquel. That name always stings me. Why?
And John Gibson.
Well, yeah, well.
And how did
They
the
were
Leafs?
Leafs?
No.
Picks of the Leafs.
The Leafs traded Thomas Caberlet to Boston Bruins for first-round pick, a conditional second-rounder, and Joel Colburn. It looked like a three-way win. The Bruins got their Stanley Cup, Caberlet got his Stanley Cup, and the Leafs got three very valuable assets for their rebuild du jour. The deal looked fantastic for the Leafs at the time. Assets, he puts in quotations, is the key word there. A scout named Gus Katsaros.
Just scrib. Name the
All right,
names.
fine. First-round pick from Boston was eventually traded to get Biggs by Toronto by giving up, two draft picks who turned into be Ricard Raquel and John Gibson.
Oh, Ricardo Carr wears number 67, just to...
Those were traded to the Ducks?
Ducks, yes, correct. For the pick, Tyler Biggs, because Tyler Biggs was 23rd, I believe.
So they traded 2 picks for a pick.
Yeah, to move up.
To move up, and Tyler Biggs probably won't play in the NHL.
Tyler Biggs had like 5 points in the AHL this year. Something
Yes.
Like
So the conditional second-round pick from that trade
that. Yeah. I know.
decided to trade the pick for John Michael Lyles. It seemed like a good idea. Didn't work. So who did they trade John Michael Lyles to? Carolina. To get Tim Gleason, who they eventually bought out and are still paying to not play on the team. And who turned into that second-round pick?
They bought out Tim Gleason?
Yep.
Who turned out to be that second-round pick?
Who turned out to be the second-round pick for Tim Gleason?
Well, what happened with that conditional second-rounder? I can't find who was picked with that pick. Okay, whatever.
That's fine.
Joe Colburn. With one-way contracts like Colton Orr and Fraser McLaren. They decided to trade Colburn rather than have him as a healthy scratch, so they traded him for a 4th-round pick to Calgary, and he's played great in the series thus far. Who did Leafs pick with that draft pick? Well, they didn't. They traded him to the Blues, which brought Roman Polak to Toronto. Now Polak, one of the many names to be rumored to be out of town. So that's what happens there. What the fuck? Lee Stepniak, another player traded. I don't know.
Yeah, you know for who? Or they traded for Lee Stepniak?
Oh yeah, Alex Steen and Carlo Koliakovo. I know. Alex Steen gone for Carlo Koliakovo.
Oh, that one.
They traded Alex Steen
and Carlo Koliakovo for Lee Stepniak.
And what did they trade Lee Stepniak? Matt Jones. For Matt Jones.
I don't know who Matt Jones is.
Yeah, no, neither do I. I think that's
that. Oh, that's bad.
It's called asset management.
That's bad because I was going to say this earlier. I think Stepniak's been the best Jet since they got him. Honestly, I think he has been.
Yeah.
So that's
Raquel, Stepniak, Colburn, Grubauer. Every way I turn, I'm haunted by Leafs past. So there's a lot of players in the Leafs past.
I'll tweet the article. It's written excellent. It's just
well
such a. There's so many more. Like every team has this. It's just. The Leafs ones are the most current ones that are like the most prominent. It's like, oh my god, they're coming up.
Don't worry, we can laugh at the Braden Coburn Atlanta Thrashers move and the Marian Hossa for Colby Armstrong.
Wait, Braden Coburn, thank you.
And you're welcome. He doesn't play for you anymore.
That's fine. Radko Gudas will next year.
God,
baby.
He's awful.
Hey,
he's awful.
Every team needs a beautiful beard.
He's
have Thorburn, we have Gudas.
And to finish off this week's podcast, we'll start with who won the lottery. To everyone's
Who do you think won the lottery?
Fucking Edmonton!
The City of Champions! Welcome, Connor. We win things 4 out of 6
My
years.
favorite tweets, there are 2 of them that I really liked. One of them was...
I'm leaving my wife.
After everything Cates has done, and this is how the hockey gods repay him, it's like a sick dream, and for some reason, he gets everything. That was essentially what it was. It was just like, he's been such a shitty owner, and this is what he gets to, like, repay for it. And my favorite tweet was from Randy Turner, columnist for, I think, Winnipeg Sun. I think so.
He's a columnist based out of Winnipeg.
Based out of Winnipeg. And he said, good thing Edmonton got him, because it's not like they've ever traded the best player in the world before.
They did. They did.
Wayne
Gretzky.
Yeah. So very disappointing, but I read an article, I think it was yesterday or the day before, because, you know, I'm a Leaf fan, I love being disappointed with things. It was like, there were 5 teams remaining for the, like, final pick.
They could have slipped to 5.
Who?
The Leafs could have fell to 5.
That would have been the worst. So there are the 5 teams that remained that still had balls in there. There was no Arizona. They were done. All their balls were already picked, so they knew they were going to pick 3rd at this point. The teams that were left there was 1 ball in there for Columbus, which, if anyone deserved it, it was Columbus, because they did the anti-tank and won 9 straight, or just had a ridiculous record out of at the end of the season. Carolina had a ball in there still. Toronto had 3, Buffalo had 2, and Edmonton had 2. Edmonton fucking wins it. If Toronto had won it, that would have been ridiculous.
If there's any proof that it's not rigged, it's this.
Yeah.
Do you really think Gary Bettman and the NHL brass want Edmonton to have the best player coming in to go to small town Canadian market? Not a goddamn chance. It would have gone to Arizona if it's rigged.
Of all the worst places to go, this is it. There's the other 3. Even Buffalo isn't that great, but when you think about where else he could have gone, Carolina, they need resurgence there. If he'd gone to Carolina, wow, that would have been just a big boost to them. They could have gotten rid of Eric Stahl and Jordan Stahl and really restarted rebuild with center around Connor McDavid, and even Jeff Skinner could be gone too, and Jeff Skinner and all those young guys they have there. If it goes to Arizona, boom, another economics turnaround. Everyone wants to go see this Connor McDavid kid.
You guys are assuming that he's going to be that good. He might not be.
We're buying into the hype.
Okay, we're buying into the hype.
Yeah, no.
Let us do that.
I know.
And if he goes to Toronto, he goes to fucking Toronto.
It's Toronto.
Just
needless to say.
Backtrack a second. Even if he went to Arizona, no one would give a shit down there.
But
nobody would care.
I would make it I would say if I lived around the area, or say Jets were on a road trip, I'd probably go out of my way to go see Arizona.
But that doesn't help season ticket holders. They're not going to get...
You never know, though. You never know that one player does that.
Even if, hypothetically, Gary Bettman moves them one day, right? They have Connor
Gary.
McDavid.
They have Connor fucking McDavid.
It's true.
And then now they're like, okay, well, we can sell this team highest bid. Why? Connor McDavid.
Yes, exactly.
Your move.
So I think we
what
now
would it take for Edmonton to get rid of him?
McDavid. They already said they're not going to trade
That
him.
pick.
Nothing.
They already said they're not going to.
Not even Jacob.
Nothing.
No,
Nothing.
I'm not. No.
Nothing.
Now they can look at who they want to trade. They just signed Nail Yakupov, so it's going to be interesting to see what
They
who
wouldn't
they're
get
going to
anything
move.
for him anyways.
It'll be interesting to
He'll be a
see.
piece
They have to
in
move
the-
one of those
Piece
four.
of crap.
Well, that's your opinion.
I'm going to say probably Nugent Hopkins out of there because they have McDavid and Leon Draisaitl's there. So it'll be interesting to see who they move.
I think it's Nuge just because I think they'll get
And guys, once the draft,
out of the. I think he'd get them what they need.
once
I don't
the
think
draft
Everly
happens, we'll now thank you, Connor and Edmonton. That'll give us something to talk about over the summer months when it's
Yes.
just sludging by.
Do they
We'll have
make the
lots
trade
of them.
before they draft him or
Yes,
after?
probably there'll be some great moves at the
They
draft.
won't have
from
much.
teams.
They won't have many days to do it because I'm assuming Stanley Cup will end 5-6 days before the draft. Usually does.
It'll be interesting to see.
It'll
They're
have to
probably
be
already
fast.
working on it though with
Oh,
non-playoff
sure,
teams.
sure.
But one of the big things that I want to talk about is kind of you can almost see the shaping of the top 5 picks, and this is kind of my reasoning for the top 5. You can disagree with me. Here's my reason for the top 5. Obviously, we know Edmonton's going to pick McDavid. Buffalo's going to take Eichel. Eichel, Kane, whatever. That's going to be a great line. Now it goes to Arizona with third pick.
Wait, does Eichel go back to? Does he go? Did you hear Tim Murray? He was like, "Oh, I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch! You had a 20% chance at Connor McDavid, 80% chance at
No. He had a 20% chance at Connor McDavid, 100% chance to get Jack Eichel.
Yeah, no, exactly. And he's like, "Oh, I'm disappointed." How do you think Jack Eichel feels? He just lost a national championship in one of the worst fashions. It wasn't even overtime. It was one of the top goalies, the most coveted NCAA goalie I could think of in years that isn't drafted or anything. He just lost. He's already down. Yeah, if I'm Jack Eichel, fuck that. I'm going back. I'm winning. I'm winning the national championship. And why? Because if he doesn't go, Buffalo's still going to be the shits next year.
Yeah.
Get another guy to play with
Austin
and
Matthews.
then show up next year.
Austin Matthews.
But a counter argument to that, which I'm assuming one of you guys are thinking of, would be, go, play now. When you're 18, 19, by the time you're 21, rookie contract's up, sign an offer sheet. Get the hell out of there. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
It pissed me off when he's like, "Oh, I'm disappointed." I'm like, "Oh, you're disappointed? You don't get the number 1 generational player." His comparable is Ryan Getzlaf meets Jonathan Toews. That's a lot of goddamn praise to me. I'd take that any day.
I don't think there are 29 other... Hey, Buffalo, you don't want him? 29 other teams will take him for a lot. Go. Take him.
make him
Okay,
move. Go
so
ahead.
you got Connor McDavid, Jack Eichel, then...
Noah Hannafin. Wait, who's drafting?
Okay, it's Arizona.
Oh.
I'm saying...
Ryan Strome.
For me, no, not Ryan Strome. Because why not take Mitch Marner?
Because you
He
need a
already
center
played
on your
it.
top line.
Doesn't Ryan
Max Domi.
Domi's a winger center.
Doesn't Ryan Strum play for the Islanders?
No, his brother. Dave. What's his brother's name?
Ryan Strome is the one in the island.
Islanders.
Yeah,
What's
that's
his-
what you guys said.
Dylan.
Strome.
Sorry.
Dylan Strome.
Nice call.
Yes.
Nice call.
But okay, very well could go after Dylan Strome or Noah Hannafin, but for some reason I just see the intelligent. Why not go for Mitch Marner? They already play together.
Because
you could start.
Because Dylan Strome can already prove that he can put up points. Yes, of course. Yeah, he had Connor McDavid on his line for most of the year.
No,
When
I'm
he
not
played
saying no. Yes, you're right. Strome can do it, but why not get Marner and Domi, a line that already has chemistry, versus trying to build chemistry with Strome and other guys that are going to be there? Why not do it?
I get where you're coming from.
Or go after Hannafin and have an Ekman Larson and Hannafin.
Me personally, I'm taking Dylan Strome.
Okay.
And obviously, we'll have plenty of time to talk about this as well.
It's because
so
I'm biased.
okay, we'll say Mitch Marner. Yeah, and you'll say Mitch Marner because you want Dylan
I want
Strome,
fucking
you
Dylan
cheeky
Strome.
bastard.
Yes, I
That's
do.
why.
And then Noah Hannafin going to Carolina.
And then who's 6th?
Lawson Krause.
No, but who's picking 6th? Because Flyers are 7th.
Columbus, isn't it?
Flyers are 7th, and I'll be waiting for you, Ivan. If they don't draft a fucking defenseman.
Killington?
Devils?
Well, Ivan Provorov.
He's dropped a lot.
Devils?
Provorov. Devils? Oh, no.
I think Jets have to keep bring it back to the Jets. Wherever they finish, they'll probably pick. If they're out first round, they'll probably pick 15th or 16th. They'll get a decent guy. I'm excited for that second pick that they get from Buffalo.
Are they going to move it?
I can see them.
Are they going to package show? Go higher.
But who would go? Enstrom.
Hey,
and pick for Flyers pick.
I'm okay with that.
Pick up.
I get a 39.
Get Lawson Krause maybe. he's still there.
You guys
maybe
are missing the bigger picture.
Who? What?
Edmonton wants a good defenseman.
We're
not Toby Enstrom.
I'm not talking about Toby.
Not Jacob Trouba.
No,
I'm not
Dusty
talking about
Buff.
Jacob. Yep.
Dusty Buff and sign him to a contract. Dan.
Buff for Nuge. Maybe throw
Okay,
something
you're
else in
out of
there.
your mind. That's too much.
Here's my issue with that.
It's got to be Ebbs in like
it's got to be a winger.
Second rounder. They're not giving up that first. No way.
There's no why.
What
Okay.
first rounder? No, I just said no. Like
why Nuge?
Oh.
He can't play on the wing. Shifley can't play on the wing. The only so you already
take
have
Ebbs.
Yeah, you take a winger. Why take a centerman when you already have Little, Shifley, Lowry? You're gonna have Patan coming up soon. You still have Cormier in the system.
Or do you want to take a burner? Take a flyer on.
Just sign
Nail Yakubov.
No,
he's never gonna be there. No.
Not for Toby Enstrom in the first pick.
He's fast. I like it.
He's
Or
fast.
you could be like, hey,
Matt Halishuk's fast. You want to trade him for Nugent Hopkins?
I would love to see him.
He's fast.
I like Yak.
Yeah, but you know what?
just don't
I'm gonna
think
love.
he's-
There's gonna be lots of speculation, and Cameron won't be here for it.
I won't be here all of June. All of
Just
June.
rude. This is selfish. You want to talk about a player who's you're selfish. Going away for a month. That is selfish.
I think Cam should have to do the podcast by himself on like a Skype.
he should Skype in. We should record. We should do a Google Hangout.
Well, I won't be able to because that's right when the shows will be on.
Cameron.
He's living the hippie lifestyle. There is
Cameron,
no
it's
power.
called 2 a.m. Google Hangouts where we're like, hey Cam,
I'm staying the night at people's houses.
it's fine.
Shacking up with the ladies. That's
Tell
what
them.
I do.
Tell them you have
No.
a job. This is your job. We make no money. This is your volunteering hours.
We'll figure something out. All right, closing words, guys. Are the Jets going to win their first... 6,000 odd days between home games for Jets. We forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
Do they get their first franchise win, or is it next year? Is it next year?
I hope they win tomorrow. I just want them to win one game.
I feel like,
One game.
unfortunately, I want them to win. I think they're going to win tomorrow. I think. Well, they have to keep winning to stay in. I want them to win. Had a dream this afternoon that they didn't win, but I still think they're going to win. But I also have them going all the way to the final. But,
okay,
which is
do
ridiculous.
they win or lose?
Win. However, I don't think they're in the playoffs next year. But go.
Whoa.
That's pessimistic.
Go.
I think the
OG Thrash fan here, ladies and gentlemen. OG.
They have to win a game. They can't get swept again.
Okay, so win.
Win.
You.
Swept.
And they will be in the playoffs next year.
I'm taking swept, and you know what? I'm going to say they're not going to give up a lead because they won't have the lead tomorrow. I think the Ducks know when to close it out.
Okay.
No, that's fair.
I think it'll be interesting, for sure.
So, thanks for emailing us. If you want
We
to
are-
email, contact us, lastminutepc@gmail.com.
All you have to do is
Ask us questions. We like
go
answering
on our
questions.
Twitter account and say, what is Cameron Holmes' phone number? I'll give it to you, and you can just start calling him.
Don't
It'll
do
be
that.
hilarious, yes.
Don't do that. I don't have, my cell phone bill was $100 more than it should
I've
have
got
been.
to tell
I'm
you
not
guys a
prepared.
story off podcast.
Oh, way to tease. Have a good day, guys. Thank you very much. Go your respective teams.